Now, have you and your wife used practice or anything with how to adjust the harness straps or anything like that?
Not at all.
Okay. So right now it's all the way down. So it's all the way down back here.
Yeah.
And then it's all the way down in here, which is where it should be for a newborn.
Mm-hmm.
And then as your baby gets bigger, you will you would just slide this off, this right off of here, pull them through, and then move them up. And you always just need to make sure that when you move them up, that whatever slots they're in the front are the same ones that they're in the back. And then all of this kind of peels away pretty easily to get inside to the seat if you need to. And then these inserts are usually up for good for up to a few pounds, and I'll look in your owner's manual to let you know for sure. And then the manufacturers usually like you to remove them once the baby gets to a certain weight, just so that this is to make sure everything that fits better, because they're so tiny when they're first born, and then as they get bigger, they don't need it. Okay, so then when you put this in, you want to hear that click so that you know that it's in all the way, and you can see that you can't.
And it's going to be on both sides, right? The click.
Yes, it needs to click in on both sides. And then you can see that the green indicator is in the center. So it's very important when you first have the baby that you really pay attention to that, because they need to be in that reclined position. So that's pretty important when they're first born, so that their head and neck stay back. If they're too far forward, then they'll fall forward and it won't be good.
And then this is not a hard back, right?
No, it's soft.
This is soft. Okay.
Yeah.
I the reason and this feels soft, but I figure it's subjective, right?
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's not hard or anything like that.
Because we were talking about flathead and all of that.
Right. Yeah. Unless you leave the baby in here all the time, it won't happen from the car seat.
Okay. Good.
I have 2 children of my own, and I know my daughter. We were constantly making sure we were flipping her enough, so there was none of that. So.
Awesome.
And then everything that you need to know about any of this is all in the owner's manual. And this is called the head pad. So I'm going to look at that and see what they recommend for when they'd like that to come out.
Okay.
Okay. And then it'll tell you just kind of the key things. Use only with a child who is between 4 and 30 pounds. Where is that head restraint? And then with this seat, it should never be installed in the front seat.
And how do you feel about those baby mirrors, like the ones that are up here?
Okay, so for what we recommend is that anything that didn't come with the seat shouldn't be in the back seat, anywhere around the baby. Just with the kind of how it would work in a crash, you know, if it came down and hit the baby, it would hit at the force of, you know, it would no longer be that kind of little flimsy, you know, ounce of a piece of material. It would hurt them. So we advise you not to do that. We know that there's a lot of cool things that you can buy that make it look like they can position the baby better in the in a seat. We don't recommend those either. Britex doesn't. They will. They actually in the owner's manual says, you know, any aftermarket products, if there were some kind of a failure with the seat or anything like that, and you were using something like that, they wouldn't be liable for anything. So that's important to know. And the babies when they're, I don't know if this is your first, when they're first born, they're so small and kind of squishy, and they'll look so tiny in the seat. If you feel like you'd like him or her to have better head support, the receiving blankets that you have, you can roll those up, kind of like in a tube shape, and then just use them to pad like around the baby's head, like or side to side. Yeah, so that is an acceptable alternative than buying something. The handle position. So this right here, and I am